Hello, what is up everyone? Today we have marketing Faras Musthafa here. He is a super great marketer. He creates amazing content on his Instagram where he has 27,000 followers. So he is going to share some super actionable tips about content creation, marketing, Instagram growth, etc. So let's get started. This podcast is going to be super actionable and valuable. So let's get started. So hello Faras, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing great. What about you?
I am also doing amazing. So, can you just give some brief introduction about you to our audience?
Yeah. So my name is Faras Musthafa. I have been creating content since 2 years right now and doing a pretty good job there. So I started my journey in June 2021 and till now I have created thousands of content and from there I have gained a very amazing knowledge and I'm sharing my practical knowledge and experience through my content that people are gaining really amazing, insightful from there. So yeah, doing a pretty good job there.
That's awesome. Like you have 30,000 followers, that's a very big deal. And you have achieved this in a very short time, so that's also super amazing. So, like you are creating this content, right? So, what is your purpose of doing all of this? What is the main motto of creating content?
So I want to really understand how this content creation works. I really love to create videos because when I started, I was really nervous on camera. I was really doing very kind of things, but I was really curious about things. Like if you see my old reels, I was always like a enthusiasm guy who always like scream on the video. So I have been creating content since I was young age, and I was really loving the work, and I always kept doing the stuff every single day. I was creating videos, and eventually I felt like this is the thing I want to do in my life. So I want to really understand these four things, and I am really passionate about it. So that's my purpose. I always want to create it because if I felt I need to stop, then there is nothing I want to do. Like if I'm stopping this, then what should I do? That's the question I always have in my mind, and that is the reason I am keeping moving. I am always keep moving forward.
Okay, awesome. So, how old are you right now?
Currently, I am 50. Yeah.
Okay, great. I really love people like me. I am also just 16 right now. I'll be turning 17 this year. So I really love young audience creating amazing content. And yes, I've seen your enthusiasm in your reels and your energy and your innovation content is just amazing.
Thanks a lot, man. Even you are creating amazing content. I really appreciate the way you are creating your carousels. It's so insightful, so deep. Everyone who is a designer will surely need to follow you. Really
Haha,
great
thank.
content.
My profile is going to boost now. Faras has told my name. Okay. So, how has creating content impacted your life? So, what was your life before creating content and after creating content?
Before creating content, I was a guy who always consumes content. Like I always consume content, but I don't know how this whole things works. But once I start to create content, I get to know what is hard work, what is passion. Everything I was slowly getting to know. I get to meet a lot of people like you, Alex Hormozy, kind of really got inspiration from them, what they are doing. I was able to understand a lot of things about business, entrepreneurship, content creation, marketing, and everything else after creating content. And I'm so grateful to meet these whole people. They have really brought a lot of contribution in my life. So yeah, that's a very amazing achievement I feel while coming to content creation industry.
Okay. So, when did you started creating content?
Um, June 2021, 2 years
June
back.
20. Okay, 2 years back. So, it took you 2 years to grow this much, right?
Yeah, actually, my first 5,000 followers have been like almost 1 year. I have taken 1 year to grow my first 5,000 followers. But after that, in just 1 month, I have grew 5,000 followers. In another 1 month, I grew like 10,000 followers, and it just went like that. So for the first year, I was actually on another account. Most of the people don't know about it. Like Victor Sport, another account I was doing there.
Yes.
So I was just learning the stuff from there, and I just started at Marketing for Us recently in December 2022
Hmm.
from 2021, and there
Hmm.
I started creating amazing reels, and from there like it took me almost 1 year to grow my first 5,000 followers, and yeah, journey went like that.
Okay. That's awesome. So even I know about your page, Victor Spot, and you change your page to marketing for us. So that was a really good point, like changing from a brand name to your personal name and doing personal branding. So that was a really great thing. So who inspired you to start this personal branding and stuff? Who, like, Gary Vee inspired me to start my personal brand. So who inspired you to start your personal brand?
So basically, I was not knowing about this whole things. I was just so bored with designing. Like back in the time, I was a designer. Like I was not a content creator. So at that time, I was not getting any clients, and I just felt like this is not the thing I should be doing. If no results are there, even after
Hmm.
months of hard work, then I tried to do something more crazy. So I just searched on Google. Then I am understanding that Instagram marketing, Instagram growth is an amazing niche to start with. And I just started there without thinking twice. Even I didn't see any creator right at that time. I was just starting by creating content like what is Instagram stories, what is the size, and everything. Like just I was doing that. I thought I am doing really great. Like even it took me 2-3 hours of time to create one single carousel that even nobody has been seeing. I just loved that. I was so passionate about it, and slowly, I get to know about these whole things, and I just started there. Like there was no inspiration for me to start. It was just a passion or kind of curious that brought me to this industry.
Okay, that's great. Like you wanted to do something new every day. So that's what
Yeah,
brought you here, I guess. Awesome. So you told you were a designer. I didn't knew about it. I thought you were only a marketer.
yeah. So basically, I started as a coding. I was like really loving web development, but then I just got I just got bored with that, and then I started designing, and then different things, and then lastly get into social marketing.
Okay, social media marketing. So how did you learn social media marketing?
Yeah, as I told, like I wasn't knowing anything. I was just doing what I know, like what I know the day. I was just
Hmm.
improving 1% every single day, and then almost few months I was doing really weird things. Like it is not even can be called as social media marketing. But
Hmm.
eventually I learned this thing. I eventually start seeing other creators in my niche. I started to see what they are doing and observed very well, and then started creating some more relevant content. And eventually, yeah, I learned this stuff.
Okay, that's great. So let's jump to the second phase of this podcast, like how it's going, how it's the content creation journey and everything going. So I had this question that how do you set apart from other creators? Like there are tons of marketing creators out there. So how do you set yourself apart from them?
So a lot of creators create content. Uh, from my perspective, almost 90% of the creators create content to go viral, to get clients and different kind
Hmm.
of things like that. And I create content because I love to create, as well as my audience are loving what I'm doing. They loves what I'm doing, and they always comments on that. And that really appreciates me. That really motivates me to create more content. And as I have been starting, even when I was starting, I didn't know this is a niche or this kind of business kind of things like that. I was just doing with my passion. And that's one thing that I feel so grateful about myself. I have been doing things because I want to do, not because I want to do to get clients or kind of things like that. So that's a very big thing that I feel I am somehow different from most of the creators.
Yes, like if you create content with love, with passion, it like anyone can guess that this person is doing because he loves. He is not here for any intentions, for clients, for money, for followers, and we can see that in your
Yeah, like
content.
yeah, like almost 1 year, like I was only having 1,000 followers on my first page, but that doesn't demotivated me to stop or any kind of things like that. Maybe I changed the account for different purposes, but I never quitted the niche. Like I was always doing the stuff, even I was getting low results, kind of things like that. Even if the algorithm is down or kind of things like that is happening, still I'm not stopping because I just love the stuff. If I'm not doing the stuff, then there is nothing for me to do as a internal motivation.
Okay, that's great. So you never quit, and that's a sign of a winner. So, yes. And you told about that you grew your 5,000 followers in this much time and then this much. So, do you believe that growing your first 1,000 followers is harder than other milestones?
Yeah, obviously, because when you just start out, you don't know anything. You really don't know anything, especially if you're just starting with curious and passion. especially
Hmm.
especially at that time, you don't know anything, you're just starting, and even you don't know how things works. And even if you observe other creators and doing the stuff, it will take you a lot of time to understand how the whole things works, how the algorithm works, how content creation works, and all the things like that. So growing your first 1,000 followers might be the hardest, but once you grow, it will be becoming easier. Your next 1,000 followers will be so easier. After that, it will be becoming more easier, and it will be just becoming a game of providing value and getting followers instead of that, like a kind of exchange game. When you're just starting out, even if you provide high value, you might not get much engagement and followers because you don't know how to play the game. You don't know how to engage well. Even your content is great, that can be a problem why you are not getting enough engagement on your post. So once you grow your first 1,000 followers, it is something like an achievement that you can say you know how to play the game, and then
Hmm.
you will be able to really grow very well.
Okay, that's super great tips for everyone who is under 1000 followers. That's awesome. So, do you have any tips for optimizing your Instagram profile to attract followers, like attract profile visits and convert them into followers? How to optimize your profile?
So first thing you make sure is that you have a nice profile picture that have your face. So most of the people look somewhere and kind of different profile pictures like that. So if you want to build a brand as a business owner or kind of things like that, it is it is really indeed to have a profile picture that you're looking to the camera or somewhere like really professional. That should grab the audience attention, that you are a professional or you are a person who have a great knowledge in the field. And then you want to make sure that your profile is so relevant with what you're doing. Like some people might create amazing content, but if their profile doesn't say that this guy is doing video creation or personal branding kind of things like that, then your audience will be not able to understand what you're doing basically. So that is a very big no to optimize your profile to get more conversions. So also, make sure that your content is relevant to your profile. Your profile is relevant to your content, and everything is just going smooth. That everyone can understand what you're doing very easily.
Hmm. Okay. What about bio? How do you structure your bio?
Yeah. So first line will talk about who you are, because your
Hmm.
audience see your profile, they want to know who you are. And then second line should talk about what you do, what is the thing that you're doing. And third line should talk about a social proof or kind of things like that, that builds authority of you, like what is unique with you, what all the results you have gotten, kind of things like that. And fourth line should have a CTA to your profile or your website or somewhere to gain more you know actions, like to get
Hmm.
more conversion for your sales or kind of things like that.
Okay, great. So, what about highlights? How? What highlights do a person should upload?
Yeah. So I would recommend anyone to must have this one highlight that is about you. If you don't
Hmm.
talk about you, then people are just seeing your profile and they don't know anything about you. And the best possible way to showcase yourself is with highlights. And make sure you have an about me session where you talk about who you are, your journey, kind of things like that. And secondly, your services. If you are a freelancer, showcase what are the services you are providing. And if you have testimonials, have a separate testimonial tab where you showcase all the testimonials. And if you want to, if you're thinking about a long-term social media journey, then I would also recommend if you can have a Q&A session where you add all the questions by your audience and their answers. Like you can always run Q&A sessions every 2 week or every 3 week, so that you are also solving their problem. And when you are putting these whole things into your highlight, anyone visiting your profile will have their answers. So that is a very, very crucial part to build your community. So these four are
Okay.
so important. And according to your niche, according to your industry, you can have more other by observing other creators in your field.
Okay, that's awesome. So I am gonna cut this part and upload this so that everyone can optimize their bio and convert their profile visits into followers. This was super valuable. And
Yeah.
yes, about highlights, what you said about you and stuff, it's very important. Even I don't have that in my profile right now because I want to do it a video thing where I talk about myself in a video so that people can
Yeah,
connect
even I
easily.
have video. Even I have been. Firstly, I had graphics, but recently, like almost 2 3 months before, I made it a video. And again I want to change it to a much better way. So videos are really great always. I think videos are something that really talks with the audience, like in front of the audience, so it really
Yes.
builds authority and momentum.
Yes, exactly. And like people can connect to, people want to talk and want to learn from a human, not from a robot or some graphics and stuff. So if you want to build a personal brand, really need to be personal. You have to show your face. People need to relate with you. So
Yeah,
that's
especially when bad GPT kind of things are coming. If you are
yes,
not showing your face, there is nothing that makes you unique. Like
super.
anyone can become a creator right now, but not everyone can become personal brands right now who show their face and do the stuff. So that is a very big thing you can do to to become on the top 10% creators on the industry, on your industry.
Definitely. This chat GPT point is super true. Like now anyone can be a creator by using chat GPT. But you can only differentiate if you are authentic, if you are showing yourself, if you are creating real original content. It's no problem to use chat GPT's help. But if you are depending it on 100%, you are dependent on chat GPT, that's not good for your personal brand and content creation.
Exactly.
Okay, so there are mainly three formats on Instagram, right? Single post, carousels, and reels. So, how do you use them, and what are the pros and cons of these formats?
So when it comes to reels, they are the best formats. You should start trying from now, because in 2023 especially, personal brands have a lot of role, and reels are the best way to build your personal brand, because you talk with the audience in front of them, like in a vertical format, which means like you're so connecting with them highly. So reels are definitely a thing that I would recommend anyone out there who are just starting their journey. Like even you are not so confident in front of videos, even you are not able to create that much of high amazing reels. If you start creating from now, you'll be able to do in a very amazing way in next few months. It will definitely take a lot of time. Like right now I have created more than 100 reels, and then only I'm able to create some good reels. But if you don't start creating reels, then it will take a lot of time for you again. Like if you're not starting today, if you're starting from tomorrow, it will be taking one more day for you to become really good with that. So that's really an important thing. Reels are so crucial for the personal branding. And talking about carousels, they are the best way to educate your audience, to have series of content, to have guides and kind of things like that. I really love personally creating carousels, and even a lot of people love that, because people love to consume content like swipeable content, a lot of information, really structured very well. So if you can learn the skill of structuring carousels in a very great way, you can really grab audience attention and even sell. If you have a product, you can really bring more sales to your product with carousels. And even if you want more followers, if you want to grow your brand, grow your personal brand, it is a very great way to educate people, and then in back you can get a lot of actions from carousels.
Hmm.
And in single post mainly, I would recommend anyone to create savable content. While I'm saying savable content, it can be anything, like not only tools kind of things like that. You can
Hmm.
also create infographics that talks about how you can achieve this, how you can achieve that, because people really loves to consume content that is easily consumable and easily practical. Like infographics are easily practical as well as easily consumable. So people always save that much of that kind of things. So it is really great thing if you can really learn the skill of infographics, how you can attract your audience, how you can provide more value with less text with infographics. That is a very amazing thing you can do. So these three
Exact.
formats, if you utilize in the right way, you can really grow your brand to a very great extent.
Exactly. And I think you are also focusing on these three formats only right now, right? You are not
Yeah,
focusing on IGTV and stuff.
if you watch my profile, you can see like if I'm posting a reel today, tomorrow I'm posting carousel, then I'm posting single post,
Hmm.
because I wanna focus in these three in a very great way. I wanna
Hmm.
learn how to make these three things much better.
Yes, and exactly like you can use single post to get very large audience. Like it's super easy to consume, and if people can see value, they can see value in just one post, so they can easily consume that. They can easily save that, and if that goes on explore page, then also you can really get large number of audience. Then if we talk
Yeah,
about reach,
like some of my single posts have worked like crazy. It have given me even 3 million plus reach only just in one single post. So it have helped me a lot to gain more eyeballs, maybe not
Hmm.
conversions but eyeballs. But the,
Eyeballs.
the thing is that when you get more eyeballs, these people will be visiting your profile, and then if they love your content, if they love your profile, if your profile is really optimized really well, then they'll be following you. So it is a very great way to, if you can utilize single post to a very great extent.
Exactly. And when you get eyeballs, you need to give them value. And to give them value, you can use reels and carousels. So yes, I really love carousels. Like they are the best because I am a designer and I love to design carousels. So yes. So you have been creating content since 2021. And what are the three tools that you can't live without?
Firstly, Canva, I can definitely say, because a lot of people say that Canva, like people make joke of Canva designers, mainly Photoshop designers. So I want to really say that till now, I have never used any tools rather than Canva for my carousels and single post. I really love how simple Canva is, but that doesn't mean that you should stop using Photoshop or any kind of tools like
Hmm.
that. If you're just starting out, Canva is the best tool, and even that does the job in a very great way. So
Yes.
according to your preference, you can use Canva or any other tools. I personally use Canva and I really love the tool. And second tool again say is InShot. Like I use InShot for my reels editing from 1 year, and I really love how InShot is designed. Really simple, and you can do almost every job. So I really love InShot. And the third tool, these two tools I mainly use almost every single day. And third tool,
Hmm.
yeah, these tools I have been using almost every single day. And for content creation specifically, these two tools are I'm using personally.
Okay, great, great, great. And there is no shame in using Canva. Like if you can do the job in Canva, why to open Photoshop and give so much RAM into it and give so much time into it if you can complete it in 5 minutes? So there is no problem in using Canva. You just need to get your job done.
Exactly. That is the main aim.
Exactly. So there is no problem with that. So yes, are you a full-time creator or a part-time creator? I guess you are a full-time, right? Or a part-time?
Yeah. Currently, I am a full-time creator.
Okay, great.
Currently, I'm
So,
having some. Currently, I'm having some personal issues. That's the reason why I'm not able to stay on stories and be active. But in few months, I'll be getting back to full time, and I'll be always there in stories and building my brand more efficiently.
okay, so how did you become a full-time creator? Like, how do you monetize your content and stuff?
So yeah, basically, my monetization method basically is I work with clients for their management works, for their content creation, engagement, and kind of things like that. So that's my main income source. And also, I have a product, an ebook where I teach people how to grow your first 10,000 followers on Instagram. I talk about in really in deep about Instagram growth, content creation, reels, and everything else. So from there, I always earn a passive income from there. So these two are my main income sources at the moment.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, great. So, let's jump to the phase 3 of this podcast where we will be talking about what have you learned after creating content since 2021 and growing your page to 30K followers. So, how do you come up with new ideas for content that will resonate with your audience? How do you come up with ideas and how do you execute them?
So mostly what I do is that I actually go through my DMs. A lot of people have asked me a lot of questions. I always have these questions in my memo where I have all my ideas in my Notion or somewhere. So I just grab from there. Like whenever I see a content, even by other creators that I really love, that I really resonate with, I'll be actually putting these whole ideas into my calendar, and then I'll be actually taking these ideas into my Canva and designing them. So I always ask with my audience about their problems, and I find solutions and I create content around that. As well as like there is a lot of things from my profile I get inspiration from. I mean, like if I have gotten good results in my carousel or any formats, I'll be actually talking about how I got this achievement. For example, how I got 50,000 saves on this post, and I'll be actually talking about five, three, two things that helped me to get there. Like a totally practical. Like if I have gotten 50,000 saves on a post, I'll be talking about how I achieved it. Like I'll be
Mm,
observing that post very well, and I'll be talking about how I achieved it in my carousel.
mhm.
So that is also a very great way that I'm able to create a lot of content. So mostly I create content from my practical experience, from my journey itself. Like if I created a lot of content in few time, how I created it, like I'll be talking about how I did and how people can uh,
Right.
gradually do
Right.
that. So that's my
Yes.
main content format. And secondly, I ask with my audience what are the problems they are struggling, and I'll be actually having my solutions and providing them through my content. So these two are main way for me right
Okay, and I totally agree that your content is super practical. You also show screenshots and prove that you have got these things and stuff. So you talked about analyzing about these things, right? So which tool do you use to analyze your content? Is there any specific tool or just Instagram insights?
now. Yeah, Instagram itself, I manually see other creators. Like the one thing you can do if you're just starting out, you will be really struggling with content ideas. And one thing you can do is that you can always keep observing other creators in your industry. If you're a designer, you can always keep consuming content from designers like you, for example, and a lot of designers in the field. You can always keep consuming their content. When you keep consuming, you will be having a lot of ideas of creating. So some people says you should always be creating. If you're creating is really important, but if you're also consuming, you'll be having a lot of ideas. So that is the main thing you can do when you have no ideas, especially as a beginner.
Yes, exactly. I am also a big believer of consuming content rather than creating, because if you don't consume, how will you create? You are not putting anything new in your mind. So I really think about this a lot, and like consuming is very important in this. So,
Yeah.
and the other question was which platform do you use to manage your content creation? You told about Notion, I guess. So do you use Notion?
Yeah, I have been using Notion few months back, and slowly I'm learning the stuff, learning how to use Notion effectively, because Notion is a very great platform if you want to maintain your client works, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and lot of platforms. Because like if you're just managing one platform, maybe you will be feeling so weird to use Notion, because it will be just time consuming instead of just having any other inbuilt app or anything like that. But if you're managing a lot of client works as well as you're managing multiple platforms for yourself, I think Notion is a very great platform to save a lot of time. So I really love how Notion is.
And you maybe create content from phone only, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's like out of the world, man. Like creating content just from phone, you are creating reels, carousels, and everything. Like this amazes me a lot, because there are many people who gives this excuse to me that I don't have a fancy laptop and that's why I can't create content and stuff.
Like even I think laptop is not important, because even if I have a laptop, there is no need at all, because I love personally using my phone. Even
Hmm.
if I'm having a laptop, even if I'm having a laptop, I'll be using my phone itself. Even if I have, I'll be always using my phone, because I just got
Hmm.
practice with that from years. So
Hmm.
that's the reason why I'm always using my phone, even if I have a laptop.
Okay, that's awesome, bro. So, what do you want to say to people who want to start creating content from their phone?
Yeah. So first thing I want to say is that don't have an excuse that you are using your phone, because it's just not the thing that actually
Hmm.
is. Because you just need Canva. As I told you just need Canva, and Canva is like Canva works almost same in your mobile or
Hmm.
even your MacBook Pro or even your Samsung phone. Like it just works almost same. So
Hmm.
don't have an excuse like that. Just start creating content with Canva or Pixel Lab. There is a lot of applications in your phone. So just start creating content from there and eventually learn. And
Hmm.
once you really do great things, once you have a lot of clients, you can maybe upgrade, but still you might be feeling to stay with what you're doing, because it doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to create content, you just need ideas and a platform like a Canva or somewhere, and you can just create content from there.
Okay, that's super great. So next question is, what type of content tends to perform really well on Instagram? You have been creating so many posts these days, like you have been uploading consistently every day. So which type of content works well on Instagram?
So firstly, practical content, like if
Hmm.
you are talking about a result that you have gotten, people will be really curious to know, and they'll be always consuming from you. So that's the main thing you can do to get more views on your carousels or reels or anything like that. So first thing is make sure your content is practical, and second thing is make sure your content is valuable, and second thing is it is simple. It is simple to understand and it is simply structured. For example, if you're having really fancy designs, like I mean, really fancy design that is not even able to understand, like your font is not even able to read it. Like people cannot even read your post because
Hmm.
of the because of how fancy your designs are. So at that time, it will be really hard for you to get views. Like people are not feeling to watch your content because they don't know what you're talking about. So if you can have very very simple design but really effective design on your hook, I mean if your carousel, then first slide of your carousel, then people will be really hooking to it. For example, if you are having your post in your explore page, people will be always getting to it only by looking to its cover. So
Hmm.
make sure your cover is so simple and on point and have a number kind of things. I mean, if you are talking about a result, then make sure your headline contains the result. I mean, if you are talking about your journey from 0 to 10,000 followers on Instagram, then have a heading like my journey from 0 to 10,000 followers on
Hmm.
Instagram. So people will be hooking to it and people will be watching your content. And that kind of content always gets amazing exposure.
Yes, definitely practical content is really great. Like it's because everyone wants to get results for themselves. So anyone strives that carousel because everyone wants results. Who doesn't want results? So that's definitely very psychological and very true that practical contents really works well. So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on engagement on Instagram? How important engagement is?
Yeah. So as a creator, Instagram doesn't knows who you are when you're just starting out. Even like no one knows like who you are. So if you're engaging with other creators in your industry, then eventually algorithm will be able to understand what you're doing, like which kind of content you are creating, which kind of content you are engaging with. So eventually it will be able to understand whom your content should be reaching to. And like just imagine like if you are engaging with 10 creators every single day, they are commenting on your post. So eventually like algorithm will be able to understand that these are the audience this niche is. So algorithm will be actually able to push to the right audience. So if you are not engaging with audience, then your account will be becoming irrelevant and you will be actually targeting mass audience that don't
Hmm.
even want to consume your content. So
Hmm.
engagement is so important for that. As well as if you are engaging with other creators, you will be able to build a network, which is
Hmm.
so important and crucial. If you have a network of other creators in your same industry, you will be able to learn from them. You'll be able to talk you can talk with them and really understand about a lot of things about Instagram content creation. You can learn from their journey and they'll be learning from your journey, and it can be a really great thing for your long term journey. So connections are so important on Instagram. So engagement enables you this opportunity. So it's really crucial. If you are engaging every single day, you'll be able to reach out to more people, build your network, because network is, as everyone
Hmm.
says, network is your net worth. So it's really really important.
Awesome. So, what are the tips do you have for engagement? Because many people don't know how to engage, they just know about commenting. So, what are the tips for engagement?
So, firstly, engagement is not only about commenting; it's also about building the connection. Like building the connection is itself engagement. I mean, if you're just commenting, there will be no value. Firstly, you need to reach out to. If you're just starting out, the best thing you can do is that reach out to 30 creators in your industry. 30 creators in your
Hmm.
industry. Build just talk with them, just start talking with them, just send them a message that I am just starting out. I want to connect with you. Not like a follow for follow kind of things like that. Just connect with them, like just send a personalized message that you are doing a great job, I want to connect with you, I'm just starting as a creator in this industry. So they'll be always like be supportive, they'll be always be ready to talk with you. So also make sure you are engaging with their content, you're engaging with the other creators content. Almost you are building the connection, not just sending a message even you are not following them. That's not the right approach. Make sure you are engaging for at least 2 3 days with them and then sending a message, so they will be knowing you, like they'll be knowing you who you are, so they'll
Hmm.
be always feeling to connect with you as well. So make sure you are reaching out to a lot of creators. Slowly you will be able to build your network, and then you can just keep engaging on their content, keep commenting on their content, but also talk with them. Always try to spend your time in talking with creators in your industry. Maybe when you're just starting out, you can talk with same level creators. If you're just having 500 followers, talk with people who have 1000, 2000, 3000 followers, and even collaborate with them. If you can have collaboration posts with them, you'll be able to get to their audience. And some people will be again coming to your post, they'll be engaging with your post. You can go to their go to their account, engage with their content, and again build connections. So it is all about building connections, like engagement. In short, we can say building connections, nurturing connection. That's the thing we can say. Also, you can engage on their stories, you can reply to their stories, you can reply to their comments, and everything like that.
Those were super actionable tips for us. Like anyone can get started after hearing this. So thank you so much for this many actionable tips. And you told about designing, right? You need to keep everything simple. But don't you think that if we keep everything simple, it will be not seen by, it will not attract people?
When I say simple, simple is so hard to create. I heard
Yes.
this from somewhere. Simple is very hard to
Yes.
create. When I mean simple, it means minimalism. I mean
Hmm.
minimal, not like just having a white background and just black text. If you see your post, I have seen your post is very simple and very authentic. Like it
Hmm.
is so unique and so simple. That is the thing I really love. Like if you see my carousels, it have a headline that is so easy to catch. Like if
Hmm.
you see my post on explore page, you can easily catch my post. But if you're seeing another post in the explore page where it is like fancy kind of fonts, it will be really hard to read that. So in one or other way, if you have simple theme, it will be really attracting audience, and you will be able to provide more value. You will be able to reach more audience, and people will be loving your content. So it's not always about having a very minimal, like only white and black kind of post with sans serif fonts,
Hmm.
just sans fonts, but having a combination of unique colors, unique font, and really readable. The main point here is readability.
Readable. Yes, that's very true. Like keeping things simple. Like people, when they are reading information, that when they are consuming knowledge, the brain automatically finds distractions, and you fill your design with too many things, and it will create more distracting, right? So you need to keep things simple while talking about knowledge and giving information. That's very true.
Yeah, you can observe any creators in any industry. Like most of the creators who are doing great job, they are really good at carousel designing, in simple designing. For example, you can see Sun E. I don't know whether you know this
Sunny,
guy, Sun E.
yes.
Yeah,
Sunny, yes,
as well as Chris Do. Chris Do is also very
yes.
amazing designer. Very simple, very simple designing. As well as you will be able to understand what he is saying so simply with his infographics, with his elements, and that is the main thing of carousel. If you can provide in a very amazing way, you can if you can provide value as well as connecting illustrations, designs, elements, then people will be able to read it very amazingly, will able to consume it very amazingly.
Amazing. So let's jump to the last part of this podcast. I really love your reels. So what are your 5 tips for everyone who are creating reels?
So the first one I would say is be consistent. Don't assume that you will be able to create amazing reels from day one. It might take you very long time to figure out, because it takes like for me right now I'm just learning the game. Even right now I'm not that much of powerful in reels. I'm just starting. I can say I have created more than 100 reels in my journey, but still I'm just learning the game. So if you're assuming that you'll be able to create very amazing reels from day one, it's not like that, because a lot of people ask me like how I'm creating amazing reels. Like if you're assuming that you can create such amazing reels from day one, it doesn't exist, because I have already created 100 reels, and it's really important.
Yes, very good. So any other tips about editing and like story or anything tips like that?
So first thing I can say is that just learn from the journey. First of all, like when you create more reels, you'll be able to understand the whole things. And specifically, one thing I can recommend is that edit your reels. I mean, a lot of people just post their reels. Like make sure you are writing captions in really engaging way. Captions are really important to entertain your audience, catch your audience, like increase the retention of your videos. Also make sure your videos is like so crisp and coming to the point. Like a lot of creators like just lag it. So if you can just come to the point directly in your reels, it is a very great way to bring more retention. Like for like also one edit I always do with my reels is that after editing your reel, make it somehow faster. Like after
Hmm.
editing the whole things, like after editing the captions and everything, just make it so faster, like just 1 point, like a 0.9 or somewhere, so that your video is so easy to consume, like so simple to consume. So
Hmm.
like when we are creating reels, maybe our tonality will be so slower. So this is the best hack you can do to increase your retention.
Yes, even I fast my reels. I in Premiere Pro it's in percentage. So from 100 percentage I do it 0.4 104.25 percentage. So that really changes the game. Like people really get bored easily. So they want to do everything fast. So that's really great.
Yeah, the one thing I have been doing when I was just starting, my reels were so slower. Like I
Hmm.
was like very slower, and that's the
Yes.
reason why even I am sure even people will not watch my reels for 3 seconds, because it's
Yes.
so slow. Like for just one word, it takes 3 seconds to watch. So
Yes.
people don't have that much of patience to
Hmm.
watch your reels,
Yes.
because just imagine, like if
Yes.
someone is scrolling through their reels, a lot of reels are coming, and if you want to grab attention of your audience, you should come to the point directly, and that point should make sense to the audience. Like if you're talking about something so general thing, people will be not caring about it. People
Hmm.
will be just scrolling to the next reel. So if you
Hmm.
have something so cool and unique hook, people will be watching your reels, and you'll be able to gain more views and interactions.
Definitely, definitely. So true. So, yes, what are your plans for your social media empire? What are your future plans?
So firstly, understand about reels and understand about short media content, because that's the future. Like carousels are great, single posts are great, but if you learn this skill, it is so valuable for your long term. Even after 5 years, even after 10 years, this is so valuable. Like people always want to connect with audience. People always want to connect with people. People always want to connect with person in like a personally. So
Hmm.
reels are the best way you can do. You can connect with your audience. So I think mastering this is the best skill for the future.
Okay,
First,
amazing. Yes. Okay, so,
secondly, I want to learn about this thing. Like I want to learn about content creation specifically, like how to grab audience attention, the marketing psychology, the psychology of audience, how audience watch your content, and learning the game of content creation specifically.
amazing. Okay, great. So, these are your plans for your content creation. That's great. Okay, so which is your most viral post till now, and why do you think it went viral?
Yeah, the one post that talks about how I got my design featured in Pune railway station. So
Hmm.
back in a few months, I designed a poster that got featured in Pune railway station as well as Pune International Airport. So I
Hmm.
talk about how I gained this opportunity. I just practically talked about these whole things. But the main point that got me the virality is the hook. I totally believe, because the hook
Hmm.
was something, if I guess right, here's how I got featured in Pune railway station. Something like that I have
Hmm. Hmm.
used as my hook. So in just the first 3 seconds, I have talked the context. Like people get to hear that this guy designed a poster for Pune railway station. So there must be something so unique. Like this, if this guy achieved that much of thing, then there is something unique this guy have
Hmm.
done. So for that, people keep watching my reels, and then because of that, a lot of people keep watching my reels. The retention gets higher, and then eventually, like I was just posting the reel, and after 3 hours I was waking up and seeing almost 30,000 views, and in the other day, like the morning, I was seeing as like 50,000 views, and then in just few weeks it got like more than 100,000, and then after 1 month or somewhere it got like 200,000, 250,000 views. So that is the most viral reel on my account, and I truly believe it's because of the hook as well as the uniqueness. Like it is not a general content. Like if you're just creating a general content, people will be not interested. Like people are just scrolling mindlessly. So if you want to hook them, then you need to have something so unique. And this was something so unique with me. Like it is not everyone can create. Like everyone cannot create like a how to get on Pune kind of things like that, because it is so unique with person to person. Like it
Hmm.
is not always about this Pune anything. Like if you designed a post for a very big creator, if you got a client from like a very big client, you can talk about how
Hmm.
you got. You can talk about how you got, which is so unique. People will be always loving to learn such secrets from you.
Yes. Yes, even I remember that reel, your specific reel, and I also watched it many times because I wanted to know how did you got there and how did you got this client and stuff. So like it was deserving because it's something unique that not everyone do it. Like not everyone's designs get featured in Pune airport. So that's a big thing and it was totally deserving. Yes. So yes, we are at the end of the podcast. So yes, thank you so much for giving your time for us, and this has been a super practical. And I have to say this thing that your tips are super practical. Like when you were talking right now, also they were super practical, super actionable, and in your post also they are super actionable. So yes, thank you so much for giving so many tips to beginner creators. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks to you too for inviting me.
Amazing. So yes, thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Hunger Podcast. This was the podcast with Faras Musthafa, where we discussed about content creation, Instagram growth, and how to grow your personal brand. So I hope you liked it. If you have any questions regarding to content creation, personal branding, or Instagram growth, do send us a DM. You can send me a DM on Designer Sanket, or you can contact for us at Marketing for us. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye bye. Have a great day. Stay bold, stay loud.